everybody, and welcome to Superhero Speak interview series. I'm your host, Dave.
And I am joining in as John.
And you might be confused because our guest is JD Oliva.
That's right. 7 years, I hope you can pronounce that. That's right. The prodigal son has returned to the shores of Superhero Speak in a different role. Actually, we've kind of come full circle now because I started
I
started out as a guest on this show, and now I joined the show for a long time, and now I'm back as a guest. I like it.
Yes, talking about your book, GAIJIN.
So yeah, this is weird talking to you guys about this stuff. I'm launching a Kickstarter. We're recording this Monday night, and I'm gonna hit the ground running with the Kickstarter. Knock on wood. Tomorrow at around noonish, I'm thinking noonish. We're gonna launch the Kickstarter campaign.
This will be posted Thursday, so it'll have been for a couple of days.
So it'll be okay. So we'll have been live for roughly 48 hours by the time you hit the ground running on this. So, I have not ran a Kickstarter since the fall of 2022. I had a career change. And that is kind of monopolized a good deal of my time as of late. But as you guys know, I lost my dad earlier this year, and it's been a big change for me. I've taken my mental health a lot more seriously. I've taken my physical health a lot more seriously in that time. And I've been sitting on a book for about a year, and I've just been a coward about putting it out, and now it's time to rip the Band-Aid off and just go ahead and go full force. It's kind of it's the main reason I've stepped back from our show, because I just kind of needed to focus. And as you guys know me better than anybody. Like I got some undiagnosed ADHD, and I sometimes I bounce around like a crazy person. So it's been sometimes most days that end with Y. So I've kind of needed to really focus on this specifically while going to grad school, which I'm doing 9 hours in the summer, while being a wrestling coach, while being a dad and a husband. So like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I need to do this. I need to do this basically.
talk about like grabbing life by the throat and throttling it. You're doing everything, man.
Well, it's so funny because like you guys know, like I'm sure it's like when you host podcasts and stuff like that, is people think they know you, and like we all get that. Like we're randos, and I don't have a problem with it, but random people will just reach out and say things to me sometimes, like hey this or hey that. And one guy emailed me about 2 weeks ago. Seems like you're doing too much stuff. He's like, it seems like you're looking for perfection. I just worry about that. And I'm like, thanks, dude. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not the person. I don't believe in trying to attain perfection because it's not real. I just believe in in keeping yourself busy. And it's funny because I was talking to my therapist last week. We meet every 3 weeks now, which is good. He says I'm doing good. He said, while you have downtime this summer, make sure you stay busy, because you don't want to be alone with your thoughts. And it's not because I'm going to hurt myself or like that. It's just because like I'm very good at making myself feel very bad.
Yeah.
So I just try to stay busy, It's just downside of kind of being creative and anxious, and you just I'm very good at hyper focusing on things, which when I'm directed into something is really good, but when I'm not, it can cause some stuff. So
yeah, no, that's true. Though, you get random comments from people that are like, hey, I'm worried about you. You're doing too much stuff. We got a comment the other day. I didn't mention this on the podcast last night. I did delete the comment, but it was on one of our shorts on the YouTube channel, and someone.
Oh, never read the YouTube comments, Dave. You know better than that.
Yeah, that's
well. It was one of the worst comments I've ever seen. It was,
oh God,
I can smell this clip.
Did it smell like? Oh, let's see, because I'm not on the show anymore. Because I would have said, "Why is your mother in the room? And did she forget to douche again?"
Oh,
see, that's why this is what you guys miss by me taking a little bit of a break. Is just like someone who just be completely nasty to somebody.
So, all right,
did you forget to wipe your ass again?
We're all good friends, and we all have distraction disorders. So, Gaijin, what is the elevator pitch?
Okay, so Gaijin is, I'm terrible at boiling these things down to 2 sentences. I'm horrible, so I'm just gonna tell you about the book.
Most writers can't, so
I know we suck at it.
I'm-
So you guys know me. I love comics. One of the things I love as much as I love comics is I love wrestling. Huge, like all types of wrestling. Like I love amateur wrestling. I love pro wrestling. I love all kinds of stuff. So this is a book about a American pro wrestler who's on his last legs, who gets a second chance in Japan, and he's entered into this major tournament. And he doesn't really know if he really wants to do it or not, but he doesn't know what else to do. So while he's there, he meets a girl. Brother's kind of a troublemaker, and he winds up accidentally, smuggling in a couple kilos of amphetamine into the country, and winds up running afoul of the Yakuza, and inadvertently becoming an international drug lord. While he's being, as one tends
It happens
to do
all the time.
when going to Japan. So it's really the story of
it's a tale as old as time.
Oh, the tale as old as time, of course. It's really a story about a guy who's in over his head, who an innocent, good-natured guy who's got problems, who's in over his head, who slowly becomes a complete and total piece of shit. And then and another part of the story is we actually do the kayfabe, which would be the wrestling story, like the fiction story. Right, where his alter ego, his masked alter ego, the Black Phoenix, is starts off the story as this vile gaijin, which is a derogatory Japanese term for a foreigner, which is typically associated with wrestlers. Like it's become a term for wrestling specifically, where his alter ego comes into the company as just a mercenary, a vile heel, and then because of his athleticism and sheer talent, wins the adulation of the crowd and the fans, and winds up becoming one of the company's most beloved good guys or baby faces. So the two characters start off at complete opposite spots, and then they don't really run a parallel story, but they do intersect at one point where both have decisions to make. One decides to become a good person, one decides to become a bad person, and it's the same dude. And the people who have read this, there's only a handful of people who've read this already, get to the end, and every time I get an email or a text saying, I can't believe that happened. So as a writer, that makes me really proud that people don't see the ending coming. And I'm like, all right, I got him. Well, it makes me feel good. So that's the story of Gaijin. It's kind of like the old movie Midnight Express meets The Wrestler.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's like the not quite an elevator pitch, but like an escalator pitch, because you're stuck and you really can't walk away from it.
I mean, normally you're writing, supernatural stuff. So
I am,
but I mean, I know how wrestling is like a big thing for you. I mean, you wrestle, your son's wrestling, you love pro wrestling. So I would ask, what made you switch genres, but
so I'll tell you a story. This happened while I was starting on the show. I think I mentioned it to you guys before, but so when my comic Deluge came out the second time in 2016, I did a much better job of marketing it, and I got it into the right hands. And then Jamie Rich, who was at the time the editor of Vertigo, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I like this book, and I'm an Andy Schmidt trained, and this is while we're doing the show. Like I'm already part of the show at this point." So I said, "Hey, thanks. I love your books, Sheriff from Babylon. It's fantastic." So I'm like I said, I'm Andy Schmidt trained. I decided to keep it going, and I said, "Hey, man, I would love to pitch you guys sometime." And he's like, "We would love to have you pitch us sometime." So he shepherded me for a year, back and forth on crafting this pitch, and really helped me formulate a pitch for this. And it was for Vertigo. And after a year, and I think I've told the story on the show before, but I'll tell it again. After about a year, it was him and the editorial team at Vertigo. They were really happy with what it could be. And to be honest, I hadn't had the story figured out yet in my head. I kind of knew what I wanted. I had the angle for the tournament, and I had I had the framework of what I wanted it to be, but that's about it. Because again, it's just a pitch. And we put the pitch together, and he's like, "We're really happy with this pitch because it's all going to be in the publisher's hands." And at the time, I knew there was a decent chance that it wouldn't work out. So I started making my backup plan. That's when I started really honing in on I had done Red Sunrise, which is how I connected with you guys for the first time. Not my first, but my second comic series. And then I'd started my hand at the narrative fiction stuff. So I knew I wasn't going to put all my eggs in this basket. And it was a good move too, because old Dan DiDio didn't think it was right for Vertigo. So, which was fine, because less than a year later, Vertigo got shuttered anyway. Had they picked it up, it probably never would have happened anyway. So, but I've always had that. It was like, let's just call this a rejected pitch. I'm like, oh, maybe kind of. Like, the story wasn't finished yet. So I mean, like, I don't put that out, and I don't think it was the right place either. Like, I just don't think it was the right time or the right place. Like, wrestling is a lot bigger than it was 6-7 years ago. So I've been kicking around the story in my head for a long time. And around the time of the pandemic, I got into wrestling on a professional level. Like, I started writing for websites, and I started doing some podcasting, and
I remember that.
Yeah, it just became between our show and like doing the stuff with Fight Game Media, like that became like my social circles during COVID. Like, I mean, people talked about how they lost touch. If it weren't for like this stuff, I would have probably gone cuckoo banana pants. But I mean, like, because with you guys and because of my friends at Fight Game, I got kind of really into wrestling again. I wasn't ever not into it, but I mean, like, so the idea's been kind of kicking. And then I remember one day I was sitting at school, and I said, it's time. And I knocked out I knew I had the story in here, and I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm like, it's time. Because like you said, I do supernatural fiction, and I wanted to do something different. And again, I had a writing coach who was like, you need to write more to genre. You need to write more to the tropes. You need to hit the tropes of like your urban fantasy doesn't hit this, this, and this. And I'm like, well, I don't want to just paint by I don't do well with just painting by numbers. It's not what I want to do. So I decided to write the most niche book possible, to the point where the only person who might want to read it is me. It was just kind of like my big time rejection to like hit the tropes. I'll hit the tropes. Well, fuck your tropes. Like, I'm gonna do a book that only I can write. I'm gonna write the book that only I would be able, that my mind can put together. And it's gonna be super underground, like as far as like wrestling fan, like hardcore wrestling fans are going to get the references and stuff like this.
Right.
But I'm going to try to make this a thriller book where anyone who's into thrillers could follow it. So it was really like a catharsis for me, and me just saying, well, all right, this is my book, right? Like, there's no other genre. Like, there's pro wrestling books, but not quite what this one is. So I mean, like, this was really my way of saying, fuck you. This is my story. And it's taken me about, most times I can knock out books within a few months. This one's, I've been working on and off for about 2 years. And a lot of that too is the life change and stuff like that. But I mean, so I'm really excited to have it done. And it's so we launched the Kickstarter. The first draft, or not first draft, but a later draft is right here. There is a person whose name could very easily be changed to John O'Grady. Might already match the description. Ready to go.
And notify on launch. Okay, I'm all set.
That's what I want to hear. So yeah, I'm real excited to kind of get this book out there. I do honestly think it's the best book I've ever written. I do think that.
Don't you just love interviews where the person just goes on and on?
Yeah, I have a question.
Makes it really easy. And
I do have a serious question though. This is the story of somebody who gets in over their head, right? And I'm sure they feel overwhelmed by everything going on around them.
Yes.
Is there a little bit of you in that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, when I was writing this, I wasn't in over my head like this. I wrote the first draft of this in the spring and summer of 2022. So I felt pretty solid. Like, that's after our team had just, our team had finished up, top of the country, and like we were good. So I mean, I was feeling good about life, and I knew this teaching thing was on the horizon. So like, I was feeling like I had I had new stuff to look forward to. I was in a good place with that, but I mean, like, I do feel like there's definite times I've been in over my head, and like, this is definitely a story of a guy trying to get in over his head. Like, I definitely was not in the headspace I was in within the last year when I was writing this. I was definitely in a better headspace at that time. I think the stuff that comes out of me soon might feel a little bit more like you're talking about, but at the time I felt pretty good. So I mean, we'll see if that we'll see if that transfers. But I mean, like it's very easy. Like I have anxiety, and like I write. There's some
Right.
that comes through. That's I'm pretty open about that. Like that definitely comes through in the character. You know, a couple of the characters. You know, it comes through with.
You know, you said you wrote a book. Well, we've talked about, you know, hitting the quadrants, right, with all the movies and everything, and this and how well that's working out for studios and, well, you know, writers too, if you look at that genre. But yeah, we've talked about this before, that, you know, you write the book, you don't write the book for you know, mass consumption. You write it for yourself. And some of the best books have come out of people writing for themselves, because it's a story. It's like you said, the story. It's a person who writes a novel is somebody who's has a story and has to get it out. And this was a story that you had to get out.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny you say that, because like being in the independent fiction world, like I really tried to immerse myself in it, and I found myself getting frustrated with a lot of things, because it is very bottom line driven, and it is very like financially driven. Like the idea is you write as many books as you can, and you find the genre that you want to write in, and you know the readers expect A, B, C, D, E. You have to hit A, B, C, D, E, even if you find it to be cliche and silly. That's what the readers want, and you're taught to say, man, you write what they want, you don't write what you want. What do you know? You write what they want. And at some point I was like, I just got really tired of that, because I'm like, again, that's not what Stephen King does. But I mean, I'm not Stephen King. And that's like, you know what, I'm not. And I am okay with being just a guy who writes books. I'm never going to be like super famous. I'm never going to be a guy who pays his mortgage with his novels, and I'm okay with that. I don't need validation from people I'll never see. I don't need validation that comes in the terms of a pocketbook. The only validation I need is my wife and my son. And I love seeing those little 5-star reviews on Amazon. But you know, I've been an Amazon bestseller multiple times, and it's cool for the couple days that it's there. But I mean, afterwards, who cares? You know, done it before,
Right.
I'll do it again. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I have to do it. I'm doing this because like I've got this stuff in my head and I have to express myself and I have to get my book out. And it's okay to release something that doesn't connect with people. That's okay. Like, you did it. You put the work in, you expressed yourself. You know, Ted Williams is one of the greatest hitters of all time. And he, you know, I think his career average is like 300. Like that means like 30% of the time he did his job right. Right. And it's the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Like, he's the greatest hitter of ever. So I mean, like, if you're putting out, I mean, like I said, I'm a huge Stephen King fan. Man, I couldn't get through Billy Summers. I thought that was boring as hell. Like,
yeah, there were a few.
I mean, there's books like that. And everyone will tell you that, like, not every piece of art is meant to connect with every person. That's okay. So I mean, like, this for me, like I said, this for me is a story about a pro wrestler in Japan. Like, I feel pretty close to that material. Like, I'm passionate about that story. I want to tell it. And like, if it's a smash hit, awesome. If 4 people read it and they're like, that's pretty good, that's okay too. For me, I did the work. I got it done. Move on to something else.
Right.
That's cool.
I'd say that you're more likely to write a good book because you're writing with passion than you are if you're writing a book to, you know, satisfy some mystical, you know, criteria
I know that
for the genre.
I know that about myself. Like, I know that if I'm told you have to do this, this, and this, like, I'm not good at it. You guys know, like, if I'm told don't make this joke, I'm gonna find a way to make it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just not, unless I don't like following the rules. I'm not very good at being told you have to do this, this, and this.
Right.
It's just not what I'm good at. This is like, I'm good at just expressing myself, and maybe, you know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I've got 13 novels to my name at this point, and I'm proud of every single one of them. Well, 12 of them.
Speaking of art and writing to the masses and not writing to the masses, I'm kind of curious. We haven't talked to you in a while. You been watching anything good? I really don't want to start the whole thing again, but have you watched The Acolyte?
I watched 15 minutes of it and I got bored and turned it off.
All right.
I got to give it another chance. I got to give it another chance because like I was kind of tired, and like I'm like, oh hey, Carrie Ann Moss. Oh hey, Carrie Ann Moss is dead.
Yep.
And I just none of the characters were connected. And you guys know me, I'm character first. I'm always character.
Yep.
And none of the characters grabbed me at first. Now, Mandalorian was the same way. The first episode of The Mandalorian, I had a hard time getting into, and it became my favorite show. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna give it a second chance. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll watch it tonight when I get when I get the campaign.
Do not watch our last episode.
Wait, watch the episode.
I haven't been.
Ow! Watch the.
Well, I'm not on. Being selfish.
Watch 3 episodes at this point of The Acolyte. Then go watch our episode from last night. I think you'll find some of the conversation interesting.
I know Don's super into it because Don's been pretty out on Twitter about how much he's enjoying it. I'm not surprised by that either. Like I said, because Drew, one of our good fans, Drew, messaged me, goes, "What you think?" I'm like, I don't know, man. I got to give another chance. I didn't dig it upon first glance, and I was super fired up for it. But I probably turned it on at 11 o'clock at night. Probably the wrong time to turn on a show for me at this point in my life.
Yeah.
So I didn't set myself up for anything good. But I know that I'm not like, this show sucks, man. Like, and if I don't like it, I'll be honest with you guys because I'm like, I'm pretty out front if I don't connect with a piece of material.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you are.
Well, and you've got limited time, so you don't want to waste your time on stuff that you don't like.
Did you watch Furiosa?
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
Oh, okay.
No,
it's on streaming already, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that. Well, I'll be honest with you guys. Like the reviews and like the performance of it really like deflated me. Like I was geeked up for it that weekend, and then my buddy canceled on me. And I just wasn't feeling to go by myself that night. And like, I don't know. I think I read one review and I was like, oh shit, maybe I don't want to see this movie.
My biggest problem with it, the more I think about it, is after Fury Road, it feels like a letdown. So
yeah. And that's part of the problem is Fury Road was so great. And they made us wait 30 years between Mad Max movies.
Yeah.
Right. And like Thunderdome kind of sucks anyway. So I mean, like,
so that's how it works, right? Because
even number Mad Max movies, Road Warrior rules, Fury Road rules, Mad Max is okay, Thunderdome's okay, so maybe Furiosa is just okay. I don't know. I haven't seen anything at the theater since. I don't remember the last movie I saw at the theater.
Wow,
I'm sure I know the next movie you're going to go see.
What's that?
The new Crow. I mean,
yeah.
Sorry,
that's what he
Deadpool Wolverine.
I'm going to see Deadpool. I had a buddy who actually had tickets to went to this the test screening for the new Crow, and he texted me, and I'm like, "What'd you think?" He's like, "It is awful. It is god fucking awful." So I'm like, and then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." Yeah. All right. I don't think you can remake The Crow. I think that The Crow is just the Crow film specifically is just. I think you had to have like experienced 1994 to appreciate The Crow. Like I think you have to understand the death of grunge music. The end of Kurt Cobain's life, like all that stuff, kind of pop culturally has an effect. Like the death, not just the death of Brandon Lee, but I mean, there's a whole pop culture movement not centered around The Crow, but The Crow kind of reflects. And like, I don't think that if you can appreciate where we as a culture were in 1994, I don't think The Crow will connect with you. Now, the comic is a completely different experience onto itself, but that's something else.
And it's funny, not to shout them out in an interview episode, but Colt 45 just did the original Crow
what
on
they
their
think?
podcast. I didn't listen to the whole thing yet. I only got halfway through it on my walk today, but they liked it. I mean, they keep calling Winston, I can't think of the actor's name.
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson's character, the best black cop of 1994 in Detroit or something like that, because like he is the only like good cop in the movie. So
well, there are no good. That's the thing about the movies. There are no good people in that movie.
Yeah,
like the good guy's a fucking serial killer. Like like it's a very dark movie.
Yeah, That's what they said. They're like, because it's the scene where he's in the police station and he's looking at the picture of Eric and he's putting the lines on his face because he just saw him at the pawn shop that he blew up, and he's like, and they're like, of course they remembered his face. I would too. The guy said, "I'm a killer. And I'm going to kill again. Hey, I stole this jacket." You know, like you always remember the serial killer's faces.
I mean, that all happened in the movie. That's 100% accurate. That's also
Yeah.
how Joe Schumacher determined that Val Kilmer should be, or that George Clooney should be Batman, right? He just took the poster from Dusk Till Dawn and drew a bat mask over it. So literally no difference. Similar results. Oh wait, no, they were not similar.
But the one thing that Randy said, again, we'll get back to the interview in a second.
That's
One
fine.
thing Randy said was, in another universe, Brandon Lee played Neo.
Oh, dude, I've always thought that. If you see Steve Scroach's like original artwork for The Matrix, I always thought it looked like Brandon Lee. Dude, that has been in my mind since 1999 that this was a role that Brandon Lee was meant to play. I absolutely have been thinking that for 25 years. Spot on, Randy. Big fan.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't have gotten John Wick.
Would we have? Would we have?
I mean,
would Brandon Lee have been John Wick?
We would have got Brandon Lee as John Wick.
I don't know if Brandon Lee.
zero
I
qualms
don't know.
Brandon Lee see, that's the problem. Brandon Lee, much like Heath Ledger later, it's like he hit it big, and we're like, oh man, all the stuff he could have done. Like, because I think Brandon Lee would have had a lot of really cool offers after The Crow.
Yeah,
because he's really good. Like, no, in Showdown in Little Tokyo, nobody knew Brandon Lee was this good of an actor. It's like it turns out, oh, you're way better than your dad.
Yeah.
No, his dad was a martial artist first, and everything else.
Not
second,
true.
So.
Not true. Not true. Bruce Lee studied as an actor. Bruce Lee was a child actor in China.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was an actor before he was a martial artist.
Yeah.
Just not a great actor, but
no,
a great
okay, whoa.
whoa.
Bruce Lee does exactly what he's supposed to do.
True. Beat up Chuck
Like,
Norris. Yes.
Yes, he does that well. But I mean, if you watch like the Green Hornet show, he's pretty good as Kato. And it's like they give him a lot to do.
Right.
But he's pretty good.
The problem being that he was the main draw of he became the main draw of it. It was, like because of.
But they never wrote him like that. But they never wrote him as the main draw of the show. He was the Asian guy. He was the Asian butler or whatever you want to call him. Like he was his bodyguard, really. But he was far and away the more interesting character. Which didn't translate when Seth Rogen tried to make the Green Hornet movie. What a piece of crap.
No, that was just that was garbage.
Yeah.
All right.
Trash.
Let's focus now. So what's what is your hopes for the Kickstarter with GAIJIN and
setting the funding goal pretty low, $1,000. Every campaign I've ever had has gone beyond that. It's not really about like maximizing. I just want to get the book out there. I've done some really cool things with them. We're gonna like, of course, the ebook is always number one, right? You always get the ebook, $5. It's gonna be super cheap. We're gonna have the paperback available. There we go. Paperback available. I'm going to have the hardcover, the ebook, the audio book, so you can have it in any kind of format that you're interested in. And I've also, this is I'm really proud of myself on this one, actually done the program because it against a tournament, right? And I didn't get a chance. There's 24 guys in the tournament. I didn't really get a chance to like describe them all in thorough detail, but I made a program. So, and it's the program of the tournament with the brackets in there. So like there's an entry for every single character, and we've got up what they look like, so you can have like something like you would buy it at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. Like I got because again, your boy here teaches Photoshop. I know how to use Photoshop. I'm pretty good. So to put that together, and there's digital versions going to be part of it, and there's also going to be a print version of it. So I'm real proud of that. John's favorite, you can become a character in the book. It's become a running gag between John and I
please become a grease stain in my book. Yes.
I have to find a way to work a John O'Grady into every book I've ever written. I can't wait for somebody to say, you always have a guy named this character. And I'm, as long as John
must really hate that guy.
As long as John's willing to fork it up, I'm going to keep going. So that's pretty cool. And we're also, my entire catalog is available. All 13 books that I've written are available in this. And I'm also, because the main character, as you can see in this right here, right? You can see our main character.
Nice cover, by the way.
Thank you.
Who'd you get to do the artist?
An artist.
Sorry.
I don't know their name. I I don't know what their name is. You deal with them on
Oh.
the websites, and they have a name. They have like a nom de plume, if you will. He's got a mask, right? So we're gonna have the mask is going to be available. You can buy your own version of the Black Phoenix mask. Right. I've never done anything like that. Super scared because I haven't gotten the prototype in yet, but I think it's going to be super cool. Like, I'm real excited for this one. So, like, it's a lot of cool little things, a lot of access to some other stories that I've written, but again, the main event is just getting your hands on the book. It's going to be cool.
Cool. And do you have a next book lined up in your head?
I do. I've got, I think I'm going to do a little short story collection because it's been hard to sit and finish a novel. So, I've got about 4 or 5 short stories in various, 2 of them are done. One is pretty much close, and then I got 2 others, and I think that's going to be the next one I do. And then I want to go back to, I left Ethan Jericho on a cliffhanger 3 years ago, and I got to follow that up.
Oh yeah.
And, I got to follow up. I got 2 more Wolfstone books in me, and I probably got at least 2 more Jericho books in me, and then I got some more original stuff that I want to do. Like, I'm itching right now, man. It's I think I got a good flow with life going again, and I just need to keep. I'm never gonna be able to retire with a full teacher's pension, so I need to do some of these. I need to do some of these books to kind of help with my retirement. So everything I make on this goes into the writing fund. I get to work with some of it, and the rest of it, is like a savings. So yeah, that's the next plan. The goal is to have a Kickstarter campaign every 3 to 6 months. It'd be nice to have one in 3 months. More realistically, probably 6 months down, and then just do a couple a year. Andy and I are writing a book together. I'm going to do my hand at a kid's book. He tells everybody when he grows up, he's either going to be in the CIA or a luchador, which is a Mexican professional wrestler. So we actually have a little book that we're working on called Lucha Spies. It's going to be. It's going to be.
Tell me it could be both.
That's the Lucha Spy. We've had that conversation. So I mean, that's we're working on. That's a project between me and my son that'll come out at some point.
Nice.
It's his story. I'm pretty excited to work with him on it. So it's fun. We're having fun together.
Cool. Sounds like you're keeping busy.
Oh yeah, I'm trying, man. Like the therapist said, don't give yourself too much downtime. We had 9 hours of wrestling camp today, so that kept me pretty busy. Yeah.
Wow.
Tired.
Yeah. You're gonna have to come on for some movie sometime soon, though.
I will come. Deadpool. I'm gonna come on for Deadpool.
All right. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna ask because we we don't really talk about this on the show much. I mean, obviously you've got your handle in the
boxer briefs. That's what I wear
in the lower third there, but.
Also, boxer briefs in the lower third. Yes,
I do in fact keep box.
Where is the best place online for people to connect with you, especially people interested in your books and
Twitter,
find more information?
Twitter at JD_Oliva. I got to get my Substack up and going. I host another podcast, Mike and JD Show. Mike Gilbert's my partner on that. We have a Patreon. He's a machine. That stuff done. I can't believe how successful that's been on that. So I'm not very good about it. Try to do some content for there, but Twitter's the best place. I need to get my Substack up and moving a little bit more. Now that I discovered you can do video on Substack, I think that I might just do, because it's easy for me to sit down in front of this and talk about what I want to do. Writing a newsletter makes me want to die. I hate it so much.
I realize I haven't gotten a letter from you in a while.
I haven't written one in a while. You will get one probably tomorrow.
I'm going to look for it
because I have to launch the campaign, so they have to go out tomorrow. I have to let people know. So yeah, but the best place is Twitter. I'm on Twitter all the time. Facebook I have a Facebook page. It's more family type stuff. I do have an author page. It's almost all business. I don't do a lot with it, but if you want to get to mainly, I'm a Twitter guy.
All right. And of course, the link for the Kickstarter is in the description. So anyone watching this can click on that and go buy. Don't buy the Kill Me because John's already bought that at this point.
Whoa. There's more. There's lots of room. Well, I can kill lots of people.
Oh, you can kill lots of people? Okay.
I can kill plenty of people. It's unlimited. If 10 people want to die, I will gladly kill 10 people.
What if 10 people want John to die?
That's fine. Then I make money with one change. Yeah.
I'm happy to die for the cause.
Yeah,
I'm saying, would you kill him 10 times in one book?
Well, that doesn't make sense. But I mean, I'll kill him one time.
Wait, no, unless he's a zombie in a book that keeps coming back.
That would
This
be a
is
different
not
book.
one of them. Yeah.
This is not that book.
Well, not this book, but I'm thinking like
In the future, yeah, I'll
and
kill John.
in the
30
future,
times.
yeah.
I'll keep killing
Yeah.
John. I should write a book called Killing John O'Grady. You know, that's actually a pretty
How
good
I
title.
did it.
How I did it. Oh my god. That's warped. That's the OJ title. That was the
I
book
know.
OJ was going to put out.
But it's
for-
okay because he's dead now.
It is okay because he's dead.
Wow,
Well,
a
he's a bad person.
dark joke coming from John.
I know, usually it's me making dark ass jokes.
All right. Well, you know what? We do try to keep these to a half hour, so I'm going to ask you the question I always end interviews with.
Oh, you dread this. Yeah.
How do you measure success?
In meters, because the metrics is far superior
Not in
to what
heathen
we do in
units.
the United States. I didn't make a dick joke, so I want credit for being as professional as humanly possible.
Come on.
Oh, okay. You've asked me this before.
I
don't
know,
Hold
but
on. I don't know, man. Like, what is success? I think success is
that's
just
the question.
being happy, like being happy and just creating something, dude. I've written 13 books. Like that's success, right? That's a successful thing. I can hold my head up high and know that I create and know that I've exercised my demons and that I've done the work. I did this interview. I think I told you guys about this before, but I'll say now. I did this interview with Bryan Cranston in 2016, and he talked about how acting, like the reward for him was performing.
Mhm.
Was just the performance. That was the reward. Anything that happened afterwards was completely out of his control. I can't control what anybody else thinks of my
Right.
work. All I can do is just do the best I can in the moment. And I thought that was just the coolest thing. And I kind of got away from that mentally and started worrying about stuff that is out of my control. Like, I hope this Kickstarter goes great, but I can't sit there and tell you, I'm going to make $10,000 and it's going to be this. Blah, blah, blah. No, I don't know, man. I'm going to do the best I can. And hopefully it connects with people. And, you know, if it does, sweet. If it doesn't, no, try the next one. So success to me is just getting up and doing it and smiling about it.
All right. So you happy?
Awesome.
Are you happy?
Dude,
Right
I'll be
now?
honest with you. I feel really good. I feel I'm in the best spot that I've been in a long time. Like,
Good.
I was talking about this with my friend Sam on her Power Bombshells podcast last week. Like, there was a time in just after my dad died that I was, and even leading up to it, I'd gotten myself into a bit of a rut. And dad dying was just kind of like what kind of kicked me off into really going and trying to work on this. So I mean, like,
Right.
there was a time that I was kind of in a bit of a mental bind. Right now, I feel like I'm at my mentally strongest and I'm at my physically strongest that I've been in probably 2 years. I feel good. I feel like I can take on the fucking world. I'm gonna come out of retirement next year and I'm gonna do the old guys national wrestling tournament next year.
Awesome.
Like,
Awesome.
I'm
Wow.
going, yeah, making that. I'm speaking that into existence now. Now you guys have to hold me to it.
Yeah.
No, I feel good, Dave. How do I sound? Because you know me pretty good.
You sound good. That's why I asked you.
You sound
Like,
jazzed.
you sound excited about something. You haven't sounded this excited in a while. So
Hmm.
I know, like, I appreciate you guys giving me some space to kind of, because I have been doing too much. Like I know that I was told to keep busy, but I keep too busy to the point where
Mhm.
like sometimes I burn myself out, and I was starting to feel that like I was burning out, and I needed to kind of pull back and like, you know, be one direction. You know, I don't know why. How's that song go? Fuck, I was
you
gonna
don't
make
know
a
you're
joke about
beautiful.
one.
That's
Thank
what
you.
makes
That
beautiful.
song. That's what makes
Yeah.
me that. God damn it! I fucked that joke up. I was gonna make that one. I blew it. No, but I kind of needed to kind of refocus myself, be a better dad and husband more so than anything. Be present for the family because that's what I got to do. And like, so I just need to. I need to do this. This is for
Yeah.
me. I need to do this.
All right.
Cool.
Well, just remember that, you know, John and I always love you.
I love you
And
guys. Like
and
family.
the slot is always open for you. So,
Yep.
you know.
Jesus Christ.
And Don is keeping it warm for you, but you know, he's always got his Omega level nerds. So
It's great to have Don around. I love Don. I mean, like I'm involved for a long time. I'm glad he's there, not maybe doing his own thing. So I mean, like I still need some time and some space to really focus on this and knock out 9 freaking hours of grad school. Jeez, what was I thinking with that? Yeah, man, I'm just trying to go one day at a time. My wife bought me Metallica tickets. Appreciate that.
God damn it. My
Nice.
girlfriend didn't buy me Metallica tickets.
It's pretty. She texted me. I tell you, she's like, "Oh, by the way, I got these for you," and I was like, "Bruh." It's pretty dope, man. I'm pretty excited. I haven't seen them in concert
You
in over
posted
20
something.
years.
You posted something yesterday or the other day where it's like about
I
really
post a
loving
lot.
your wife. Is that when you posted that?
No, I just really love my wife. I do.
Now I'm
26
sick to my
years.
stomach. All right.
Good. If I can make one person silently ill per day, I've done my job. Also,
all right,
read GAIJIN because that will do the job too. Gets pretty gnarly.
Nice.
Gets pretty
All
gnarly.
right. I think we're getting crazy again. So this is a place to put a pin in it. Again, everyone watching, make sure you check out JD's Kickstarter. Obviously, if you're a fan of the show, you're a fan of JD, so you want to read his books. They're
It'll be-
awesome.
Yep. The Kickstarter will be live when we release this, right?
Yes.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
It'll have been
Thursday.
live for 2 days, but hopefully,
Yes.
unless something
Okay.
goes completely wrong.
So as always, boys and girls, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape get caught in the door. See you next time.